Hello students, welcome back to our channel. Students, in this video we are going to study a very important chapter from class 11th mathematics, and that is chapter 4, which is mathematical induction. In this video we are going to discuss the principle of mathematical induction and how we can solve problems using principle of mathematical induction. So let's start. What is the principle of mathematical induction? Principle of mathematical induction is a technique which is used to prove any statement in n where n is a natural number. This statement should be a mathematical statement and it should be true for every value of n. So if we want to prove that a given statement is true for every value of n, then we use this principle. For example, let us say we say that 2n is an even number for any natural value of n. Let us say we have to prove that 2n is always an even number when n is a natural number. We all know this, that 2n will always be an even number if n is a natural number, right? Because if we multiply 2 with any number, whether it is even or odd, but 2n will always becomes even, right? But how will we prove this thing mathematically? Logically we all know we all know this, but that logic doesn't count in mathematics. We have to have a method to prove this thing mathematically, that 2n will always be an even number for any natural value of n. Natural value of n means that n is a natural number. So for this we use principle of mathematical induction, which says that any for any statement Pn and n is natural number, right? For any statement Pn, this mathematical principle of mathematical induction can be applied. For example, this can be written as Pn equal to 2n, and where n is a natural number, right? So we have to prove that this 2n is always an even number, right? So for any mathematical statement Pn, this principle can be applied. So principle क्या है? Number 1, prove that Pn is true for n equal to 1. First we have to prove that this statement is true for n equal to 1. Second, assume that Pn is true for n equal to k. Now let us say there is a natural number k, and let us assume that this statement is true for the value of k. We don't have to prove this thing, we will just assume that this statement is true for n equal to k, right? Step number 3. Now using result of 2, that is, now use this result. We have assumed that Pn is true for n equal to k, and this result will going to be used in the third part of this technique. Now using result of 2. This is this looks like Z. This is not Z. This is 2, right? Now using result of 2, prove that Pn is true. Prove that Pn is true for n equal to k plus 1, and these three steps will prove that Pn is true for all natural numbers. How? That Pn is true for all natural numbers. Okay. Now let us see the logic. We have already proved in step 1, we have already proved that this statement is true for n equal to 1, right? Okay. Now if we assume that this is true for any value n equal to k, and using that we will prove that if it is true for n equal to k, then it is true for n equal to k plus 1 also. Then it is going to be true for all natural values of n. Why? Because using these two, we have proven that if a statement is true for a value k, then it is going to be true for its next value also. And for 1, we have already proved it is true. Then if it is true for 1, then obviously it is true for 2, because these two steps are saying that if the statement is true for one value k, then it is going to be true for the next value of natural number, right? So if it is true for n equal to 1, then it is true for n equal to 2, and if it is true for n equal to 2, it is true for n equal to 3. If it is true for n equal to 3, it is going to be true for n equal to 4. So using these three steps, this can be proved that this statement, any given statement, is true for any natural number, right? Okay, let us take two questions from NCERT exercise, and then you will able to understand this concept in much more detail. Now this is a mathematical statement which is to be proved that it is true for all values of n. Now how we are going to prove this? Step number 1. Step 1. Let us prove that it is true for n equal to 1. Now let us put n equal to 1 in the LHS. N equal to 1, we will prove that it is true for n equal to 1. So on LHS, if we put n equal to 1, we are going to get 1, right? N equal to 1 means you don't have to put n equal to 1 in this term, right? N equal to 1 means you will be having only one term, because it says that if it has n terms, you are going to go till n minus 1. But if I am having one term, right? So, okay, let's take it like this. The general term of the expression is 3 raised to power n minus 1, right? So the general term is 3 raised to power n minus 1. So if I put n equal to 1, so if I put n equal to 1 in this term, I am getting 3 raised to power 1 minus 1, that is 3 raised to power 0, which is 1, right? So LHS is, when n is 1, n is just 1, LHS is 1. So what about RHS? Now if you put n equal to 1 in RHS, what you will get? 3 minus 1 is 2, then 2 divided by 2, again you will get 1. So for n equal to 1, this statement is true, right? Because both LHS and RHS are equal. Now step 2. Let us assume that given statement is true for n equal to k. Therefore, if we are assuming that this statement is true for n equal to k and we do not know what is the value of k, k can be any natural number. So the left hand side of this statement will be written till k. So we can write it like this. Right? Okay. So let us say that this is true, right? And we will use this result in the third part. Now step 3, using this result, we have to prove that this statement is true for n equal to k plus 1. Now let us put n equal to k plus 1, n equal to k plus 1 in this. So what we will get? 1 plus 3 square up to 3 raised to power k plus 1 minus 1. Clear? And we cannot write RHS now because we have to prove that LHS is equal to RHS. So if we write RHS equal to this, then we already know that it is true for n equal to k plus 1, but we do not know that it is true for n equal to k plus 1. So we will write only LHS and we will solve that LHS, and using this result we will prove that LHS is equal to RHS. But what will be the RHS of this statement? Okay, we'll come to that. So we have to prove, yes, let's write that first. We have to prove that this is equal to the RHS. What is RHS? When we put k plus 1 here, RHS is what? RHS is 3 raised to power k plus 1 minus 1 divided by 2. So we have to prove that this one is equal to that. Okay, using this result. So 1 plus 3 square plus up to, this is going to be 3 raised to power k, but if this is going to be 3 raised to power k, then the second last term would be 3 raised to power k plus 1, because the powers of 3 are increasing by 1, so the second last term will be this. Okay, in each and every question this is going to be the pattern, that when you put n equal to k plus 1, if you leave the last term, then these terms from first to second last term is always going to be the LHS of n equal to k wala statement, right? So what you can do, you can put this value in place of this value, because we have already assumed that this is correct. So let us put this value 3 raised to power 3 raised to power k minus 1 divided by 2 plus 3 raised to power k, because we know that this is true. Now we have assumed that this is true, so we can use the equality in this. So now let us take LCM. So the denominator is 2 and this is 3 raised to power k minus 1, this is 3 raised to power k minus 1, this is plus 2 into 3 raised to power k. So if we take 3 raised to power k common from these two terms, this one and this one, let us take 3 raised to power k common. So 1 plus 2, we will get 3. So this becomes 3 into 3 raised to power k minus 1 divided by 2, and if the bases are same, we can add the powers, right? The power of 3 here is 1, so this becomes 3 raised to power k plus 1 minus 1 divided by 2, which is the RHS of this part. So this is true, right? So we can clearly prove that this statement is true for n equal to k plus 1 whenever it is true for n equal to k, right? This statement is true for n equal to k plus 1 whenever it is true for n equal to k. That means it is true for all values of n where n is a natural number, right? This is the procedure that you are going to follow. Now let us take one more example. Now step 1, prove that it is true for n equal to 1. Now if you will put n equal to 1, you will again take only the first term. So LHS is 1. So what is RHS? What is RHS? Now put 1 plus 1 is 2, ये कट गया, and square of 1. So LHS equal to RHS. Therefore given statement is true for n equal to 1. Okay, step 2. Now let us assume I'm writing the statement directly. Let us assume that it is true for n equal to k. So let's put this is a very famous identity in class 11, so we are just proving that identity. We will use this identity in that chapter, sequence and series. Okay, so we are assuming that this is true. Now step 3, put n equal to k plus 1. Now if we put n equal to k plus 1, then there will be one extra term on LHS and plus 3 raised to power k plus 3 raised to power k plus 1. Oh, sorry. Power is fixed, that is 3. K raised to power 3 plus k raised to power k plus 1 raised to power k plus 1 raised to power 3. And we have to prove that is equal to what? We have to prove this equal to, now let us put k plus 1 in place of n. So this is k plus 1 into k plus 2 divided by 2 ka whole square. So we have to prove that this thing is equal to that, right? I'm writing this separately because if I write it here, it will give the feeling that I'm already assuming that these two are equal. Even if I'll not put the equal to sign, you might get confused and you will see that sir has written this here only because these two are equal. No, these two are not equal. We have to prove this equal to this. Okay, using this statement. So this one is equal to this and we have assumed that this is true. So let us put the RHS of this here, which is k into k plus 1 divided by 2 whole square plus k plus 1 का cube, k square what we can do, we can take k plus 1 whole square as common because we need that here, na? We need k plus 1 square. So let us take k plus 1 whole square common. K plus 1 whole square common. So here we are left with k square divided by 4 plus k plus 1 plus k plus 1. Now if we will take LCM, so this is k plus 1 whole square and LCM is 4. Now this is k square plus 4k plus 4. K square plus 4k plus 4 is clearly the square of k plus 2. So in place of this we can write k plus 2 whole square divided by 4. So this whole can be written as, I am writing it here, this whole can be written as k plus 1 into k plus 2 divided by 2 का whole square, which is equal to the RHS, right? Which is equal to the RHS. See, which is equal to the RHS. So we have proved that this statement, if it is true for n equal to 1 and we assume that it is true for n equal to k, it is true for n equal to k plus 1, which means it is true for all natural values of n, right? So this is how you can use the principle of mathematical induction to prove these mathematical statements. You can complete the exercise on yourself. I'll meet you in the next lecture. Till then, all the very best.